there was Mir that was injured,
Yes, correct.
And we couldn't understand why Honda would not give us some update parts that were unused, So the parts was available in their garage, unused, and then they wouldn't deliver. But when we talk about Honda in general, it's not everybody. Sometimes is a matter of some engineer who believe that this is the best things to do. So in that moment, a particular engineer in charge of the development didn't support us as we wished, and then perhaps is one of the reasons that Rins at the end of the season decided to move to Yamaha.
A very good afternoon. Welcome to We'll Talk with Raz, and this episode during the pre-season of MotoGP 2025 season. It's being held at Sepang International Circuit, and we're happy to host one of the most reputable individual in the paddock. I did say just now when he walked in that he's probably one of the oldest furniture of MotoGP. He reminded me that Hervé is the oldest. So he's the next oldest. But it's a great honor to welcome my friend Lucio Cecchinello to this podcast. Welcome, Lucio. How are you doing?
Thank you very much, Razlan. Thank you for the presentation. I'm doing very well. And most of all, very happy to be here in Sepang racetrack, which I love, which I have great memories. After maybe we'll talk about it. And where I love the weather.
Of course, it's winter now in Europe. Just like in the previous episode, it's weird that I'm sitting here and doing this with you, consider what I used to do before. But to me, I enjoy talking. I enjoy sharing the experience. It gives a glimpse of the fans out there. If I ask the right questions on things that they don't know, of course, the right kind of question, and for you to answer something that is not too PNC, okay. For the fans out there to really understand what it's like to be you as a team principal of a satellite team, what you have to go through every day for the past 30 years. How long have you been in a paddock, Lucio?
Actually, since 93.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and you started off as a mechanic.
Yes. I started as a mechanic. I started when I was 16, 17. I did 2 years of mechanic. I was mechanic of Loris Capirossi.
Wow, really?
He was just started his racing career in the European Championship. I was mechanic of Alessandro Gramigni, who was world champion a couple of years later. So my journey started quite early.
And from being a mechanic, again, I've known you since probably not as long as in the paddock, but even before I was the CEO of Sepang Circuit, I think I've known you. But I didn't really follow your background. So when the team showed me your background, you started as a mechanic, then you became a professional rider. Okay, and from becoming a professional rider, you actually built one of the most respected independent teams, which is LCR Honda. Amazing. How does that work? I mean, I can understand. I mean, even from mechanic to a rider, how did that happen?
First of all, I feel extremely lucky. I feel proud of what I've done so far. I feel that more things can be done, but going back to my story is that I was extremely passionate about motorcycling and motorcycles and engines and about the technique of the bikes and also the speed, the acceleration. And then I started to get interested in racing. Then I asked my parents to support me, but they said, "Oh, no, it's impossible. It's impossible to support you. We don't want. It's too dangerous." And
They don't want to support you, but
no.
they gave their blessing.
After a while, then I decided to start as a mechanic. But then because I really wanted to go racing, then I insisted, and then they said, okay, if you want to go racing, you finish your high school and then you go racing. And that's why I started my racing career when I was already 18, quite late. And then the races went quite well at the beginning. I was second in Italian championship behind Max Biaggi. I was second in the European Championship in '92, and then in '93 I did my first races in the World Championship, and then I got some points in '94, and then in '95 I went back to the European Championship. I won the European Championship in front of somebody called Valentino Rossi. You know it?
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
He was a rookie. I had more experience. I won the European Championship, but I can promise you, this little guy gave me a headache on a lot of races. And
Little guy.
Yeah. And then, little because he's 10 years younger than me. But we had a lot of fight on track with him. And then when I won my European Championship, I've been quite old. I was already 25 years old. I did the 2 years of World Championship experience, but without a big success. So nobody really wanted to invest on myself. And then my inspiration was a rider like Jorge Gaspar Martinez, who had his own team, Dirk Raudius, who had his own team, Cito Pons, who raced for his own team. So I said, if that guy, they have their own team, why I cannot do also my own team? So I decided to employ myself in my own team. I start with 2 mechanics. The very first name of my team wasn't LCR, was Honda Team GP3, because we race in the 125. But in reality, the name of GP3, it was because we were just 3 people, like me and 2 mechanics. And
Wow.
then now, finally, after so many years, 10 years of World Championship and other 19 season in the MotoGP category, plus Moto E category, now we are in 62 people. So,
Wow. I mean, to own finally to own a MotoGP team is basically you've achieved your dream, right?
Yeah.
I mean, as you say, you wanted to emulate all the names that you mentioned just now, Cito Pons, Aspa, and so on. To some extent, and not many people know this, when we were given the opportunity to set up our MotoGP team, the first person I actually approached on how to set up a MotoGP team was basically Lucio. Okay, he's the only one that is open enough, friendly enough to share his experience with me, especially on the budget. Okay, I won't say more than that, but you did show me how to do the budget, the arrangement in terms how to manage with the manufacturing. And for that, Lucio, I thank you very much. You know, I will never forget that, because you make my life a little bit easier for me to present to my board for funding, for sponsorship, and so on. You know, but you've continued, and I have a lot of respect, because as we discussed a little bit yesterday, when I saw you in your office, that is this a sustainable business? You know, and I said to you this business was all about surviving every year. I only did it with 5 years, and 3 of those years we had great sponsors with Petronas. We outperformed unexpectedly, but when I took it over personally in 2022-23, it was difficult. You know, so how do you manage in the last 19-20 years in MotoGP, year in, year out, trying to get that sponsors to make sure that you survive every year?
I would say that first, I have a big respect for all what you have done as a team manager, honestly, and I enjoy whenever I can give some support, some help to someone who share the same paddock, like I have done with you, because I believe that it's very important for us to be competitor on track, but also collaborative out of track, because at the very end is our common interest is to let the championship grow. And what we have done, honestly, in your 5 years of racing, it's something not remarkable but amazing, especially at your beginning with the great support of Petronas. You've been able to rise the bar of our independent teams so high that honestly we were worried because not only you beat us on track, but you beat us on term of team presentation, image, organization. You motivate all of us to rise the bar higher.
Wow.
But this is the truth.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I don't hide you that more than one time I was sneaking inside of your hospitality in the evening time where you were not there to look at how you settle all the VIP guest area, how was, the how warm feeling at your own hospitality, how you extremely well organize everything. Having said that, I believe that the years that you took over the team by yourself, I even had more respect for you because you, as a Malaysian owner with a newer team, with European riders, because unfortunately Asian riders wasn't ready yet.
Yeah.
It would be extremely difficult. We manage historically our team by small steps because we never had a big sponsor. And then also we started just with one rider team because when we entered in MotoGP, Dorna still allow teams to have only one rider. So we had only Casey Stoner, we had only Carlos Checa, we had only Stefan Bradl, and for a while we had only Carl Crutchlow. For a while.
Right.
Then
only one rider.
Correct. Then I was lucky because also Honda Motor Japan started a new project to get sponsored by Idemitsu to support Asian talent riders. And then we joined the forces, and then I could use my second team entry to complete my team structure and somehow to be sponsored by two different independent oil companies, Castrol and Idemitsu, with running two different programs, running two different advertising, focus on different markets. However, also due to my historical linkage with the Italian territory, where there are a lot of motorcycle accessories industry, it make my life much easier to finance my own team. Something that perhaps you didn't have. I feel lucky because in Italy, the tradition of motorsport is very high. The tradition of motorcycle industry is very high. And there are a lot of major motorcycle accessories brand like GV, like Rizoma, like other like Marchesini, Brembo, and so on. And all those companies supported me quite highly and allow me to keep my team going on. But yes, I don't hide you that I had also tough period.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you for such kind words, Lucio. It makes me even more sad for not be able to continue, but that's another matter. But yeah, I mean, even when I was there, when we had our meetings, we expressed our concern about the championship helping us with sponsorship and all that, and we can clearly see that. First of all, we give credit to what Dorna have done. They've grown the championship to the best show, I believe, in terms of motorsport. However, it somehow does not really reflect the value down to us as a team, which I think is still is happening right now. With Liberty Media hopefully coming in once they've overcome their situation with the EU, do you think we expect them to improve MotoGP? Is that something that you hope for?
Definitely yes, because I believe that whenever you join forces, you have more opportunities. This happen, in any industry, in any business, and Dorna has an extremely high knowledge in how to organize MotoGP races events. Liberty Media has an extremely high knowledge in how to promote brands, events, and ultimately what Liberty Media have shown by acquiring Formula One is something remarkable, something I believe nobody could expect. Such great growth of Formula One. Liberty Media, as we discussed yesterday, privately during our chat and our coffee, it is definitely represent a big asset for MotoGP, because we believe that they will, together with Dorna, they will start they will represent such a strong bond, such strong collaboration that definitely will help the MotoGP not only growing in terms of on-track spectacle, but as well in terms of gaining more wider TV and media audience.
Yeah, I think one of the things that when I was involved, how to increase the fan base, the new fan base. We're talking about getting younger fans around the world, more females for that matter. Yeah. As you said, you had a nephew or a niece who watches Netflix Drive to Survive, and immediately she or he followed the sport.
Yes.
That same goes with my sister with 5 kids who doesn't follow Formula One until they watch it. But we means the championships are unable to grasp that opportunity, and until now we have not seen any effort to do something similar. They tried with MotoGP Unlimited. I guess the fact that it did not do too well, they now is it more cautious or scared to do it again or whatever. But in your views, if you would want a change, what would be the one single most thing that, whether it's Dorna or when Liberty Media comes in, what would be the single first thing they should do? I know it's difficult.
Yeah. I would say, if I have to pick up one, I would say that I'm not. I do not have any doubt that Netflix is definitely the best and the biggest platform to promote any series nowadays. Perhaps when we have done our previous series have been published not on the number one platform. And also, the Americans were able to present Formula One in a highly dramatic, and fancy way, where to attract and to catch the public attention, to catch the younger generation, and then you see, also the many stories that, in my opinion, are also emphasized about the argue between the team principals, and
Scripted.
then perhaps the extreme challenges that some private teams had, to create stories and drama and challenges. This is what the people like. So I believe that they've been so great to enhance all those aspects. Don't get me wrong; those aspects are not fake, but are really well enhanced, and then and dramatically presented. And then I believe that this is the first thing that would definitely help MotoGP to attract a wider audience. But allow me to say, like I told you yesterday, there is another thing that I would like that the MotoGP would consider, is that to do more things for our world.
Yes.
I like to think about MotoGP something like to be a platform that do not only provide excitement, do not only provide the spectacle, do not only provide entertainment, but I like to think about MotoGP also that through our daily effort, through our tremendous investments on R&D, we can even further enhance our contribution to the development of more safer motorbikes and more environmental friendly motorbikes, which would ultimately give a tremendous good contribution for the mass production, means ultimately for our society.
Yes, I noticed, I'm aware when we spoke about it yesterday, and even during the years that I was there, when we had those meetings, you did bring it up a lot more. How the championship can be more environmental friendly, reduce carbon print, and so on. And it also something that to attract sponsors, because conglomerates around the world, they are also under pressure to be seen to participate in events or assets that is in line with their vision of green initiatives and all that. I can remember when, even for Malaysian companies, when we go to a big bank or whatever, they look, is there a green sustainability program? If not, they can't go in because they are under pressure to do it.
Correct.
So it works both ways. Not only that it truly helps the environment, the sport to be more greener,
correct,
but it's also something that satisfies the sponsors' requirements.
Yeah. Nowadays, especially major companies are obliged to adopt values that somehow are giving a contribution and to our world, So the sustainability, it's kind of call, important call that everybody are forced to answer. And then I believe that MotoGP is in the right path, because, as you know, we have plenty of things that have been not enlightened enough. Like before, when I started here in the MotoGP, we had the two-stroke engines. Now we have the four-stroke engine, which are extremely more efficient and then less pollutive. We have unlimited quantity of tire. Now we have limited quantity of tire. Before we had unlimited quantity of engines. Now we have limited quantity of engines. Before we have unlimited quantity of fuel. Now we have limited quantity of fuel. Now we are already using 30% of sustainable fuel. We are going to use by 2027 100% of sustainable fuel. But I think that we can do even more. So I believe that by doing more, we will give more added value to MotoGP that will perfectly match with the value of the biggest corporation in the world. And then eventually we can start to work each other more strongly.
Yeah, we hope that, we hope when Liberty Media comes in, they really take into consideration what you have just said, for both sides, not only for the team, but for Liberty Media as well, and the companies that they want to attract. Lucio, maybe I want to ask you now is, how long is your relationship with Honda? How long has it been?
It's
a long
it's
time.
interesting. It's interesting because actually is 27 years.
27 years
collaboration. Is 19 season in MotoGP and other 8 years in the medium small category since I started the racing. Of course, I was not directly working with Honda Japan, but I was working with Honda Italy. So Honda Italy, and it's funny because when I started, Honda Italy president was a Japanese that now is the number 2 of Honda world.
Oh, wow.
So it's we know each other. We text each other sometimes. We write each other. Of course, he's a very busy man, but I have great memories. And then yes, in total it's 27 years, and I know most of the people in Honda. Yes.
So I think 27 years is long enough, more than long enough, to say that you are extremely loyal to them. I think so, no?
Yes. Loyal.
It's longer than a marriage for some people.
Yeah. Loyal, yes, but as well, I would say satisfied, because it's especially in the Japanese culture, when you have a serious professional relationship, they respect a lot yourself. And then I must say that the real reason that I've been able to also go through very tough period in terms of difficulties to finance my own team, on the
Help.
Save our situation, help, was extremely collaborative. I try to never abuse on their support, but I must say that whenever I needed, they were there. So in life, I believe that you also should respect kind of business partner like that. I don't want to hide that we are facing a really, really tough technical period where the bike is not competitive, where the lack of results is really creating me a lot of uncomfortable situation with a sponsor who finance our team and who they claim lack of visibility. But ultimately, I try to keep going on the collaboration for 2 reasons. First, because I believe that Honda, as a number 1 constructor in the world, will come back. And second, because yes, I want to respect the partner that they are always next to my side whenever I need it.
So that support from Honda, especially financial support, does that make up to not to say lack of support, but because you are a satellite team and they don't support you with the latest updates. So does that make up for it? Okay, they don't give you the latest updates for your bikes, but if you are in trouble, they will come and support you. Does that make up? Does that balance it?
Honestly, until till years ago, it was like that. They wouldn't support with the latest update. But I must say that since a couple of years, since Honda is not competitive anymore, I would say 21, 22, and then lately we are receiving the same, exactly same specification and evolution of the factory team. Yes, the factory team, perhaps when there is one evolution parts to be tested, the factory team is the first one who tested, but we often are involved in the testing program or in the providing a further feedback on the development parts, because especially now they need to collect more information, they need to collect more data, they need to get more feedback from different riders to understand if it's really worth to go in this direction or in another direction. And collaboration, like we mentioned at the beginning, is something that they understood that is extremely important if they want to go back on top. Whenever they will be back on top, I will be scared because maybe they will
See,
hold their...
Lucio, every time I see you, and when we have meetings with the MotoGP teams, very, very seldom I see you lose your cool. But there's one occasion where I saw you very, very furious, and I've never seen you lost your top. I don't know whether you remember this. It was in America. Alex Rins won, but you were not getting the stuff that you want, the parts, and we were in the middle of the paddock. I think it was me and then Hervé. You were furious.
In that particular moment, there was, let's say, some head of engineers who decide which parts to be given to which rider, and then we found. I've been particularly furious because I explain you there was some rider. There was Mir that was injured, you know.
Yes, correct.
And we couldn't understand why Honda would not give us some update parts that were unused, you know. So the parts was available in their garage, unused, and then they wouldn't deliver. But you know, when we talk about Honda in general, it's not everybody. Sometimes is a matter of some engineer who believe that this is the best things to do. So in that moment, a particular engineer in charge of the development didn't support us as we wished, and then perhaps is one of the reasons that Rins at the end of the season decided to move to Yamaha.
Oh dear, it's well. I hope, like you said, the last couple of years things are better, and they, for them to get to the top, they need to. Yeah, it should not longer be a satellite team. It's like a second factory team in a way. So hopefully that is something that you get more support. I mean, at the end of the day, you need to perform well on track. You need more visibility for you to make your sponsors happy. And talking about making the sponsors happy, okay, you have probably the next Southeast Asia wonder kid. Well, I'm not saying wonder kid, superstar. Okay, with Somkiat Chantra, which
Correct.
He's waiting out there, waiting for his turn. Man, I can remember I spoke to you about this. You know, at that time it's more about the opportunity of getting sponsors. If you can get either Ayogura or Somkiat, even both riders, it will be fantastic. But you got one at least. So tell us, what is it like working with a Southeast Asian rider? I will reserve my comment because we used to have a Malaysian rider. I would like you to, it's still early days, still got a lot to learn. But I think you have, he's going to be a big hit with not only with Thai, but Southeast Asian as well. For us, we are neighboring countries, and if we have one Southeast Asian rider, Thai rider, we are happy. Southeast Asia, Indonesia, Thai, Malaysia, we raise one flag of Southeast Asia. Japan, not so, because it's Asia, not Southeast Asia. So now you have Somkiat. He's going to be big, already big in his home country. He will help us, Malaysia, with more fans as well because of him being in Southeast Asia. So what is it like?
It's a new journey for us. We just started. Of course, we know a lot of Asian rider in the paddock from the past, but to have a MotoGP rider in our team coming from Southeast Asia I feel extremely proud and happy because first, it's a pleasure to work with such a nice and fresh spirit. Second, is young, full of motivation and full of hope for his future. Third is humble. And then we like also to work with humble people that are able to listen, are willing to learn. That's very important. And ultimately, we feel proud because I believe that all of us, whatever we do on a daily base, on a year base, whenever we can deliver inspiration to the general public, it's something that it makes me proud. And the fact that I'm here, the fact I'm telling my story, the fact that I told your story, it's nice because I believe that some of our viewers will enjoy, but some of our viewers will definitely get inspired and motivated to do, let's say, most big things in their life.
For sure, I think your fan base in your social media will go up.
Thank you.
So that helps at least. And the second thing is, not only you have a Thai rider, you have a Malaysian team member.
Yes.
So that makes it even much better for the Malaysians to follow your team. So you have a rookie mechanic under the name of Akmal, who was interviewed today, this morning. And first of all, thank you to you and to Honda for identifying him as the Malaysian mechanic into MotoGP team.
Talented mechanic, definitely.
Talented mechanic, which is good. You're not taking him for the sake of marketing or whatnot, because as we know, touching a MotoGP bike is very sensitive. It needs to be under experienced people. So maybe, I'm sure together with you and Honda, you've seen that he's very talented. So now he's one of the two Malaysian mechanic in MotoGP. And what can you say a little bit about Akmal?
It's a remarkable project that Honda wanted to settle for the very first time, not providing opportunities only for young talented riders, but also for young talented mechanics. Honda was looking since a couple of months for bringing a Southeast Asian mechanic in MotoGP. As well, I can anticipate they are looking to bring also mechanics in other MotoGP category, in other racing categories from other countries, because they really believe that through the experience that those people will get in their participation in the highest level of motorsport, they would be able to transmit the passion and transmit the knowledge to other youngest people, to other people, and eventually grow more professionalism in terms of technical maintenance on racing motorbikes, but as well on motorbikes in general. So it's a commendable project, and then we feel happy and we feel proud, because I must say that Akmal just started, but so far we are impressed in his concentration, in his seriousness, in his punctuality. We have to see him working under pressure.
Under pressure, yes. That's another story.
Yes.
But there you go, guys. I mean, if it's not necessary to just become a rider, there are opportunity if you are dedicated, disciplined, and work hard. You can be a team member, a mechanic into the MotoGP team. It's not impossible. So
absolutely, we have 13 different nationality in our team. We are welcome for a 14th nationality.
Excellent. Last question, Lucio. What do you expect in 2025?
The expectations are high. The amount of effort that Honda HRC is doing to bring back the bike at the highest level of competitiveness is really high. They are investing a lot of money. They are employing a lot of human resources. I believe that Honda will be able to be back on the top, I would say, 5 position in the next couple of months. We will need some months, but I would say that we aim for the top 10 at the early stage of the season, and then finish the season with some top 5 highlights.
I think you have a good balance. Well, you have Johan, who's very experienced. I think he's the top Honda rider last year.
Correct.
Yeah, so I think with all this development, I think Johan is a credible rider and can do well for you.
Thank you so much.
Lucio, thank you very much. There you have it, guys. Lucio Cecchinello, you've heard everything, the insights about how he runs his team, how he developed into his successful satellite team. I'm envious of him because he's continuing, but it doesn't matter. For him to sit next to me, sharing his story is good enough already. So thank you, Lucio, and we wish you all the best for the 25 season.
Thank you.
Nak harga diskaun untuk tiket MotoGP Malaysia pada Oktober ini? Jom saya tunjukkan cara mudah untuk dapatkan harga tersebut. Mudah sahaja, hanya dengan tonton podcast Wheel Talk dan gunakan kod yang tertera di kaca skrin anda untuk dapatkan diskaun sehingga 20% pada pembelian tiket. MotoGP merupakan antara pengalaman yang tidak patut dilepaskan, jadi jangan tunggu lama-lama kerana promo ini adalah eksklusif dan terhad. Ianya hanya akan dibuka selama 3 hari pada setiap video. Dah beli tiket? Jumpa anda di Sepang.